right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley, who's taken a threatening position this morning, sitting so close to the camera and trying to get all up in my face and up in my grill, up in my business. What's up with you today, huh?
What are you talking about?
You're like, yeah, see,
No,
there you go again.
I go like I never know how close I should put the keyboard to me,
Yeah.
where the camera is, and I don't want to be like this.
Yeah, see how you're like that?
But if I'm like this, if I'm this, is it too far back? And then am I too far away? And
see,
is
right
the sound not as good?
Go back a little bit. Right there's good. Right, don't move.
Okay.
Don't move. You move.
Now I feel constrained.
Well, you are constrained. That's the thing.
I don't like.
I'm the man. I've got you down. Right.
This is Andy's thumb.
Yeah.
This is me.
And the whole world's under it. If only.
Yes.
You want to know something? You want to know something that makes life great?
Go ahead.
You would have never guessed
me.
I would have never guessed this until I lived through yesterday. I was sitting here yesterday and I was contemplating. I was thinking to myself, I've got some nice hats. And those hats are kind of getting stacked one upon another on top of the.
Oh, you're talking about figurative hats, not literal hats. I thought
no, literal hats.
Literal. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I've got some nice hats. I've been buying hats that make me what's the word I'm looking for? What not necessarily baseball caps, not necessarily cowboy hats or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're stylish. I got a couple of fedoras. I got a couple of pork pie hats. I got a couple of nice straw hats that are cool looking and all that stuff. So I'm adding a little class and distinction to my look.
Mm-hmm.
So what doesn't go good with a bow tie t-shirt, right?
Of course. And everything goes with it. It doesn't matter.
So as I continue to shop,
under a sport coat.
Sometimes a sport coat, for sure. Always look good in a nice hat, right? And I'll tell you another thing. Compliments from the ladies. Oh yeah. Oh, they like them. Last hat I got, in fact, is printed up like it's an old coffee bag from South America. So that's a little international flair, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. I'm wild.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
So
you're multicultural.
Dude.
You're not just a one-dimensional former drunken Irish Mick.
Not at all. Not at all. So I'm sitting there yesterday and I'm thinking, these hats all stacked up on top of each other. It's not good for the form. It's not good for the shape. Right. Hats, they're $100 plus. So
wow.
I know. Did you think hats would ever be that much?
I've never paid more than, I think, $9 for a hat. Of course, secondhand stores, secondhand hats. I've gotten a few of those.
Nothing wrong with lice in your eyebrows. So you do you, man. All right. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, it's time for another rack to put my hats on.
Okay. You're looking for a new hat rack?
That's what I did. 6:30 last night. I jump on the old Amazons. And look at this. By 4 o'clock this morning.
Excitement.
By 4 o'clock this morning, there's a new hat rack at my house. Did you ever think that life would get to the point where you could snap your fingers at 6:30 and have a new hat rack by the time you wake up?
No, I didn't.
Dude, that's like Star Trek shit.
Mm-hmm. It is. Oh, are you kidding me? I try and Max cannot understand this at all. And most young people can't. No. I try to explain to him, I go, dude, you literally have everything that I ever dreamed of having as a kid and some other things I never even thought of. Like a computer /TV /everything device in my pocket. I never thought that.
It's nuts.
I never thought.
Video phones.
A million years.
To do like a FaceTime thing.
Oh. Freaks
me out. I literally can't believe you can look right into somebody else's house through a video device. What else is wild? The record store. Anything you want, touch a button, it's yours. That's amazing. And I mean, I guess some people will go, well, yeah, big deal, right? I used to carry milk crates of that crap around to DJ dances, right? And now I can be anywhere doing a dance, touch a button, and instant request right there.
We have everything.
It's amazing.
And even if you're poor, you have everything. That's what's amazing. It's like we are entertained. That's why we have no attention span. We don't wait for anything. That's the one thing that's gotten lost, and no patience at all, because we get things like that. And we've all grown accustomed to having everything right now when we want it. And if we have to wait, an extra 49 seconds, you start to lose your shit. This happened to me at a drive-through not too long ago. It's like, oh my God, I'm the only one in this drive-through. And it took me 58 seconds longer than it should have to get my Arby's roast beef sandwich. And it was one of those, and then I caught myself. I was like, oh, wow, I really have zero issues.
Well, no, you've got really complain about.
No, I don't have it. See, that's where, because I'm self-aware about things like that. I'm like, usually I'm good at in the moment or the next day going, okay, that was a little silly. That was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing. I still have a hard time wrapping myself around all the shows that I will never get to watch because I just have so many other things to watch. And
what you need to do is just listen to me, and I'll tell you what to watch, and you'll be fine.
There's only so much stuff on UFOs or pyramids, and it's all interesting. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I still haven't gotten through that 4-hour Rogan podcast with the Graham Hancock and this archaeologist who, that is, and it was fascinating to watch, but it's just, I've only got through like half of it, and that was like 2 weeks ago.
Actually, I was watching BBC Select last night, and they were doing a tour through St. Petersburg, which was remarkably beautiful. And the weird thing about watching a British person talk to a Russian person? They're not standing there waiting. Like, you see an American talk to a Russian, it's like they're waiting to pull guns on each other.
Oh, yeah.
British people, the Russians, like, yeah, cool, come on in. Whatever.
It's weird. Yeah, that's an odd thing.
Yeah.
It's an odd, because it's the whole Cold War mentality. And it's not like Russia was friends with Great Britain during that time, but there's this like kind of, it's leftovers. Different.
Yeah.
Because Great Britain hasn't been a superpower in forever.
Sorry, I had to ding you.
Or a super tower for them. They haven't been a super tower either.
But they do have Big Ben, which is a super tower.
That is true.
All right.
That is true.
Well, amazed as we will be, we'll stroll on into the news that is Thursday.
All right.
And I'll be informed and entertained by the one and only Dave Cackley.
All right, let's get into it. Terrorist group Hamas is still considering a ceasefire deal proposed by Israel. Secretary of State Blinkman is urging Hamas to accept that deal. Officials say the offer to broker a ceasefire. Those proceedings are in a positive space, positive atmosphere. They're calling it a positive atmosphere. I don't know how that works. We're in a positive
space here.
It's a positive space. It's a positive. It was very kind of a hippie response to what's going on between two entities in a conflict that is, older than most countries and civilizations.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go civilizations instead of countries.
That's what I said. That's why.
Last night we were watching that. We were watching that thing on St. Petersburg, and they were showing one of the cathedrals. And dude, we got nice churches and cathedrals around the United States and stuff like that. You get to the Middle European countries and things like that where they really have nice cathedrals. And Cindy says, "Do they have those in the United States?" I'm like, "Well, kind of. They've got the
not that old though."
And I said, places like that though, those were here before the United States was even a country.
Yeah,
that's the marvel that we're looking at right there. Woo. Wow.
Even shots of like the Roman Colosseum are still stunning to me.
Oh my God.
Literally people used to watch human beings get murdered by lions for fun. That was the entertainment.
That was Running Man.
That was their YouTube.
That was Running Man back in the day.
Yes.
Where was Arnold Schwarzenegger when you needed him?
Oh God. What else is going on? 60% of citizens give a failing grade to how mental health conditions are treated in the
Oh
U.S.
my
1 in
God,
5
yes.
Americans reportedly live with a mental illness. 75% say mental health problems are not identified and treated in the same way as physical problems. Well, to that end, I mean, there's an issue. The physical problems are more obvious. They're more like you got a shoulder that hurts, you got a knee problem, you got a heart problem, you got lungs, you got cancer, you got any one of these myriad of diseases that people have that are physical. We know kind of how to deal with it. The brain is so complex, so much of it is guesswork, and it's really and the mental and the physical are kind of tied together. That's why they've even said, exercise helps at treating depression and anxiety.
Let me tell you something. I've been through a spell where I was pretty depressed for the last couple of years. With that comes a lot of research and, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I take? Blah, blah, blah. So you watch everything you can see, you learn as much as you can. And here's a staggering thought. By 2050, there are going to be 153 million people worldwide that have some kind of degenerative mental health condition like Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that. How are we going to house these people that need constant care under those kind of situations? That's long-term care that requires residency and requires constant supervision, and on and on. This idea of mental health being a stigma, and the need for care in it has absolutely got to go away.
No question.
And I think it's a family thing for me because I've got a bunch of uncles that all kind of have isolated themselves. They all kind of just drift off and become hermits as they get a little older. I think that it's I think looking at me too, I think that there's this idea that the ups and downs of life have been pretty dramatic. I mean, you think about a kid that starts off in radio at 19, and by the time he's 28, it all collapses, and it was pretty excessive fun, good time, right?
Oh yeah.
You get to Muskegon, you do it all over again, and you leave that because life changed and things, and there has to be a legitimate change in the way that mental health is viewed and treated. It's important. It just really is.
And I think it has, to an extent, it has changed a little bit, at least as far as I think people are more comfortable addressing it now than they used to be.
Yeah.
Which is a positive. And also the understanding, I've understood this, and I've dealt with a lot of shit over the years, tragedy and whatnot. And, but also the wiring people, how different people are at dealing with things, how somebody can have all these things going on and still be able to function and still be able to see the positive. And for me, I've been able to do that through faith and through other things, and through also just, and you bring up a good point with other family members having dealt with it. There is a hereditary component to it that I think we're probably just grazing the surface of.
Oh my God.
I don't know how much that's been dealt. I'm not a mental health expert by any means, but I do know, I've been around long enough to understand that some people just have a harder time dealing with it, and they need more additional help, and that there are no quick fixes. I mean, there is no magic pill. Now you can take there are some medications that have been developed that can help, but it's not just take this, like a lot of the pharmaceutical companies want you to just take this, you're going to be fine. No, it's going to take other things, other changes in your life in order to get a hold on that, and having people around you that care enough to say, hey, let's get you some help here. Let's try therapy, and be man enough to understand that if you're going through something, you need to address it either with therapy or with some of these other things, or a combination of all of it.
Yep. True that.
Anyway, what else is happening? Michigan residents heading to Cedar Point are getting a discount. The Michigan Bundle could help families save hundreds of dollars at the popular Ohio theme park. A one-day bundle includes admission, it includes parking, a bunch of other crap. You get that for $49, I think, and then there's another one for $79. I think that's a piece, though. Oh. It's not just like for, but individually that stuff can run you.
Yeah. Hey, I got my family wagon full of 8 kids. Can we get in for $49?
Because this is 1978.
Because I'm TV13's Dave Cackley.
Okay, now, first of all, I haven't been to Cedar Point since 1984. That was the last time I was 12 years old. And I'm not a big roller coaster guy. I'm not.
Dude, you're about due to take your kid there.
Oh no, Max is past the. Although he'd probably still enjoy roller coasters.
No, he's not. He's perfect age for that.
He's.
In fact, you know what? Do me a favor. Shut up a minute. I need to address the crowd. Max, if you're listening today, this is your summer to go to Cedar Point. And if you don't get to go, your dad is kind of a deadbeat. I would look at your dad like this and say, Dad, can we have a trip to Cedar Point? Make him get a hotel. Tell him there's a drive-through liquor store right around the corner from Cedar Point. He won't even have to get out of the car, and enjoy your time at Cedar Point. There you have it, Max. Uncle Andy. Thank you.
Hey, Max, a reminder. That drive's about 6 hours. You want to spend 6 hours in the car with me? Really? Is that the way you want to spend?
Hey, Max.
Oh, and by the way, you know what? It's also 6 hours back.
Hey, Max. See that vein popping in your dad's head? That means he knows shit's getting real, and this could happen. So I think what you should do is charge up that Game Boy.
Oh, God.
Get in the back seat and sleep for the first 3 hours of your trip. Then make sure you stop at every rest stop after that while you're playing your Game Boy and your dear old dad drives you to Cedar Point. And then make sure you don't take any picnic stuff with you. Make sure you eat everything in the park at full price. Uncle Andy, thank you.
And by the way, Andy just gave Dad a raise. Anyway, another one on top of the other one he just gave me. But now I'll tell you what, Max, if you want, we'll compromise. We go to the water park there over in Mount Pleasant. It's only an hour and a half drive. We hit all the slides again. That's awesome.
Max,
I seriously, the last time we went there,
Max,
I
this is your father trying to gamble away the pittance he has while you go on a water slide. Hold out for Cedar Point.
Touche. Sports. Tigers beat St. Louis 4-1. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. They blanked the Mets 1-0.
Of course, nobody got to see the Tigers beat the Mets 4-1 because Xfinity dropped Bally Sports. You heard about that?
No, you know what? I actually watched it on satellite at the local watering hole in Caledonia. So I enjoyed for the first time in probably, I bet it's been 5 or 6 years, maybe longer. I had a White Russian.
Ooh.
I had my 2 drinks. I said yesterday what I was going to do. I did everything I said I was going to do. I worked out hard. Then I went, I showered, and then I hit the old family tavern there in Caledonia, had a vodka and water, and then followed that up with a White Russian.
Nice.
And some chicken tenders and fries. And
perfect. Yeah.
It's a nice little afternoon. And watch the Tigers game.
Xfinity and Diamond Sports, the parent company of Bally Sports, are in a fight, so there's no Tigers.
Yeah. Well, not for people who have your typical K. If you got satellite, you're good.
There you go.
Xfinity, got to get satellite.
It's a process for 400.
All right.
Chester Carlson's photocopying process was rejected by over 20 companies before this one bought it and made him rich.
I'm going to guess Kodak.
Kodak is incorrect. It would
that was a good, solid guess, though.
It was a solid guess. 56.
Wasn't it good? Because I'm thinking way back when. I wasn't thinking. But then I should have thought copying, and then I should have immediately gone to Xerox.
You should have, but you didn't, and that's that. So on to a Thursday.
I'm still trying to think about how much Cedar Point's going to cost.
Tell you what, go be a day drunk and figure it out there on a bar napkin later this afternoon. See you at Cedar Point.
See ya.
Welcome back, Muskegon. Some showers are possible today as some warmer air nudges in, so let's take a look at your forecast brought to you by Trinity Health. Like I said, some spotty showers are expected for Thursday afternoon, but they'll be pretty light and very isolated. Better chances of rain and even thunderstorms arrive for Thursday night, though, but we're not expecting severe weather, thankfully, as that should stay to our southwest. And then once that clears out, we'll likely have a pleasant weekend with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures. This is what the future radar looks like at 2 p.m. today, and you can see, like I said, just spotty showers. Some of those may have a rumble of thunder in them, but we're not expecting any severe weather with this, as it will mostly just be rain showers. However, once we get into Thursday night into early Friday morning, you can see they become much more widespread and better odds of them having thunder with them as well. But like I said, we're not expecting severe weather with this, thankfully. So for your Thursday, expect highs around 73, and we won't really hit 73 until very late in the day, close to sunset actually. So we are expecting those spotty showers to bring in the warmer air. And then overnight, we'll likely have rounds of thunderstorms with a very warm low of 58. And then by Friday, we'll have some rain showers during the morning hours, but once a cold front moves through, temperatures will drop a little bit into the upper 60s. But thankfully, the air mass behind that front isn't that cold, as will likely be in the 70s over the weekend with lots of sunshine as well, until the next chance of storms arrives next Tuesday. And that is your Thursday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon channel, and I'm Cole Woods Weather, and have a great day.